Guys, another video, another time to have fun. So in this video we will be talking Azure Redis cache for Redis on Azure as a platform software as a service. So cool. There's a bunch of benefits to using the Redis cache service because of access. If you are going to access the database a couple of times, you might suffocate resources in there. You might fall into situations where the latency is too deep and all of that. So having the information cached and very close to the users works pretty well. So cool. In this one, I'm just showing you the basic documentation of how to interact with this thing. And that's basically there is a connection string to Redis cache. They're using the Redis cache connection string. And they have a connection. On the connection, they get a database. From the database, they get what you call set string. So essentially, they're setting a value in the in the Redis cache, and they get the string back. Cool. Then the values keys and values, they read that using a value. That's fine. Okay, then stack exchange Redis, there's a class. Then there's common operations. So under common operations is create batch, create transaction, key delete, key exist, key expire, key rename, key time to leave, key type. So how long should the key live in your cache? If you wanted to rename the key, you can do that. If you want to expire the key, you can. Key exist, key delete, and the type of key you're using, right? Then there's a ping command there that we are seeing there. Then there's a list command. You'll get the clients connected to that particular cache. And okay, cool, that's that. And I am interested in this particular activity where we are create and manage Azure. Not that, man. This exercise here to say connect app to Azure Cache Redis using .NET, right? That's that. There's a couple of commands. Without further ado, let's jump to our favorite window. And like normal, what we're gonna use Azure CLI to create one of the most important things in Azure called AZ group, which is the resource group name Redis cache. This is too long. Redis RG, then location as per normal. Our videos, this is what I'm gonna use. Resource group created. Now I'm gonna create the Redis what do you call service. Azure service there. I'm gonna say Azure AZ Redis create. Then I'm gonna specify location. I'm gonna say West Europe. Then I'm gonna specify the resource group that I want to use, and it's gonna be Redis RG that we just created just now. Then the name of my Redis cache, Redis cache, March. Let's say March, Redis cache March. Then the SKU, I'm gonna use basic. Then here I'm gonna specify the VM size, right? There's a couple of VM sizes that you can choose from. According to the documentation, that's that. You can Google that as your Redis cache VM sizes. Right, there it is. You have C0, C1, there. So this C is, I'm assuming, is consumption plan, then there will be premium for whatever the case might be. So C0, C1, C2. So we are creating C0 for 250 megabits, which is the bare minimum. Folio, that's that. Run. So while it's doing that, we might as well jump into our code. So our code, back to Visual Studio Code, right? And I'm gonna do a CD. Then I'm gonna make a directory keep my project. Now I'm gonna call it Redis. Cool. Then I'm gonna cd into Redis. Make there Redis. Then cd into Redis. Then .NET new console application. Once I get into my console application, once I get into my console application, I want to run a .NET build, keeping everything consistent. I'm gonna go to my program file, just edit a bunch of things. Okay, console done. Probably need that somehow. Cool. Delete all of this. Delete all of this. Cool. Nothing has changed there. I run a .NET build. It should work. Namespace as you could be found. Oh, yes. That's why I normally run my .NET builds. Start doing changes just to make sure. Then we have a package that we need to use to interact with Redis Cache is .NET add package. The name of the package is stack exchange dot Redis. Redis. I'm just copying this because I'm probably going to need it at some point. Realize that. Right. While that is doing that, I'm just going to be using that. Installing a bunch of things there. Cool. All I did was just change that. Once I've changed that, I'm gonna no, not what I wanted. I want to run a .NET build. Then similar to the others, we have a static string or connection string, which is equal to, I'll get it once my resource has been created. Then cool. Then yeah, that's basically it. Let's go to Azure. In our still running that, taking forever. Cool. Just wait for it to complete. So once while it's doing that, I'm just gonna say copy some code from the practice test and do that. I need to find a format of some sort in my Visual Studio Code. So cool. Yeah, what it's doing is it's creating a connection to the cache, Redis cache, which is that what do you call connection multiplexer will be the class that comes in that. Then connect, it will use that connection string to do that. Then from that instance, we'll get the database. From the database, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna ping the database. Then after doing a ping, we're gonna do an insert, right? And for the insert, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go int I is equals to 0, I less than 10, which is gonna I plus plus. Why is this thing? Why is this thing doing that to me? Want that. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a bunch of keys instead of setting them there. Then I'm just adding a 10 values there. What happened? Okay. I'm just gonna take that, put it there. Right? So I'm gonna add that. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is change that on the key. I'm gonna put in I, right? And on the values themselves, I'm just gonna put I. Then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 5 of these, right? So I'm gonna read from int I is equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read the last 5 of that. Then the key, because we did manipulation of the key, I just need to do that. Okay, looks like I pasted something. So cool. I'm gonna get the values that were associated with that key, right? Cool. There, I can also say some other awesome object if you wanted to. So this can be anything. Right here, in our case, it will be a list of strings. That's that. When it hits done, it should have those values in there. Cool. Magnet build. There's a lot of issues. It really does not exist in the current context. Like the how? I missed something. Typo. Typo. To love it. Cool. Yep, there it is. Our code is ready. Just waiting for this wonderful kit to complete. Cache. So remember what I mentioned with connection strings and all of that. This is cache for Redis. You can see here the memory used. Redis server load. Uh, that. Okay, cool. That's that. What I want is I want to come here. So you see, you can set up VNets, private endpoints as well. All of that. Some of these things are heavily guided or are supported in premium. So you need to check which one works by reading documentation. There's my connection string. This will obviously be deleted at some point. Cool. In my console, I want to actually .NET, .NET run my project. But before I do that, let's see what's happening here. So cool. When you look at overview, there's no requests and all of that. Status is that. Wish I could see other things like how much is used versus how much it's not there, but at this point, I don't see it. But anyways, cool. Going back to my code, we are going to do some interesting things, which is create a .NET run. .NET run should give us a bunch of results. So it should give us the ping. It should tell us that it's setting the values that. Then it should get us the values. Right. Cool. Another timeout. Okay, so there was an exception that happened. I'm hoping to see something in the logs. Next. Okay, cool. Let's go back to our application. Try run it again. Did a timeout basically. Looks like it's having a tough time connecting. Okay, well, that's the case. Let's just go here again. Those are the keys. Primary and secondary connection strings. I want that. Then export. see that export works in premium tier, private endpoints. I think I can add private endpoints there. Virtual networks can only be configured in premium tier. Geo-replication premium tier. Schedule update. Okay, that works. Persistence. Advanced settings. Okay. Allow only SSL. Okay, let me just change that to no. Save. And that's the situation. I'm sure. That has been saved. Okay, this is that. Okay. I don't know why that is given. Doesn't want me to toggle that setting, but anyways, come here. Let's try run this. Okay, there's something that failed. Okay, I think one of those issues we found previously were with our service bus example. Just go to oh, this thing is still running. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, hence why it is timing out. Okay. There's a couple of issues that came in that failed. See, red thread is failing the resource. Yeah, see that? That is what is going on. Basically, looks like the same thing on that. Okay, cool. Activity logs. This thing is still running. But anyways, guys, I'm not gonna waste a lot more time on this. But basically, this is how you do the setup. You saw the commands. You saw how to set up the project, the packages that are required. It's just that. And after here, basically, what was going to happen is I was going to set a key, then read another set of keys there. Well, whatever that I inserted, yeah, using string get async, I was going to read it from the cache essentially, and that was just going to be it. So I don't think we missed much. We just missed the interaction and us being able to come to this graph and show that things are working as expected. Okay, cool. So those are some of the commands that I'm trying to run, but nothing's going on. Right? It's still taking forever. It's taking its precious time. Right? Did it complete? I think it completed. Every time whenever I have a rant, this thing's complete. I think I need to complain a lot more. Cool. So that's that. Currently on our metrics, there's nothing. I go to my app and try and run this thing. See, it's setting the values true, and it's getting the objects 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What I could do just to show that this is connecting, I can take out that code that inserts the code and try and run that to give me this part again. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I run it again. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right. If I try access a key that's not there, let's see. 18, 8. So it should give me 8, 9. Then I don't know what will happen after that. Hopefully it doesn't throw exceptions. See? Awesome. 8, 9, then nothing there. Cool, that's how it is. If I wanted to, I could call this thing here for you just to demonstrate that for 12, let's say I'm putting a key there. Actually, we just put a 12 there and say remove that. This is us now inserting one value in the cache. Right? Then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna disable this line here. Right. Then also what I'll do is I'll copy this line, right, and change one of the keys. So I'm gonna change key 5 and say update it, right? So I'm updating 5 and I'm also inserting a value to 12, right? We'll save, run. It did a ping, it did this inside, it did this update, right? I'm taking out these lines. I am expecting to see 12 with a value first of all. So the last value here should have something, but not run. See, this is us inserting the value into the cache. This is the same as that. Cool. Here we don't see 5, so I'm just gonna put 5 as the first one there and run my command. 5 should give us updated. There's updated. Cool. There's the interaction. If I go here and I look at my matrices, just view our matrices, try and see what will happen. I wanted us to start seeing, this thing populating. It takes time to push information into the matrices. Doesn't happen real time. But yeah, cool, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.